Hey everyone, it's Pam, and I'm here with my monthly update video telling you everything that I was up to in the month of May. Starting out with podcasts, as normal, there were 2 episodes of my own podcast media, Mavens. The first one, we had returning guest Adam Coble. He is a Twitch streamer and GM of tabletop role-playing games. He's just started a new show called Far Verona, which uses the Stars Without Number system. If you are at all into tabletop role-playing games, he knows so much, and he's a really great GM. Our conversation was fantastic. We sort of jumped from topic to topic. We talked about the new show and how it was cast and how, you can do some real good GMing, but also a number of other topics. All the games we've been playing, all the movies and things, a number of books. Adam really likes Dune, so that came up a lot in the show. Definitely check that one out if you're interested in any of those things. And the second episode was just Riley and myself getting caught up on everything that we'd been up to since we recorded previously. I also was a guest on a podcast. It seemed like it's been a while since anyone has invited me to be on their podcast. I was on Game Enthus, and this was actually my 3rd time back on that podcast. So I talked to Aaron and Tiny for a couple hours. We talked about so much stuff, what we've been playing, sort of the most recent news. We talked about the new Steam app, the Resident Evil 7 sort of cloud download on Switch. There was honestly a ton. We talked for a long time, so check that out as well if you are interested. So now just a little bit of a channel update and sort of plans for the future. Last month I felt was very slow in terms of videos releasing. That's because my Where Are All the Moms in Video Games video I did took a lot of work. It's probably the video I put the most time and effort and heart into, sort of so far in the 3 years that I've been doing this, between the research and the writing and getting people to review and fact check for me and collecting, footage from almost 40 video games and doing the editing. It was probably a good 50 or 60 hours worth of work. So I did really enjoy making it, and I'm really happy with some of the feedback I've got on it. The comments have been surprisingly good. A lot of people have mentioned it's a topic that they never even considered before, but we're happy to have it brought to their attention. Some people brought up their own sort of favorite mothers in games, and there were surprisingly few comments, though some, of course, that, were the keep your politics out of my video games kind of comments. Which are really stupid. But I'm really happy with the video. Of course, the more effort you put into a video, it seems the less views you get, which I have heard many people sort of comment about. So I wasn't super happy with how much it got watched, but I've been finding the channel views and things have been down just sort of in general lately. Doesn't really matter what I do. The views are a very small percentage of my subscribers, which kind of sucks. But I do this only partially for attention, and I like putting out this content, and I'm happy that I put that one out. So, yeah. I'm almost finished my top 100 videos, my top 100 games videos. There's 2 more episodes of that left. One should be coming out within the next week or so. So I've been thinking about what I'm going to do with myself once I'm finished that. And I think I'm going to do some collection videos. I haven't done a game room tour in a while. The game room has changed a lot. So yesterday I was going through my collection, going through alphabetizing, and I was thinking, I haven't played that yet. So I'm also thinking of a series to sort of clear out the backlog and do a kind of first impressions, sort of play a series of games for a set amount of time, and then talk about what I think of them, if I think it's something worth doing a full review or worth finishing, or if it's something I'm probably just going to sell because it's not really doing it for me. So those are just sort of some ideas for once this big series is done for how I can keep myself busy in addition to the occasional vlog and retro review. It's been a while since I did a shout out, so I'm going to do that this month. Do you like shoot 'em ups? I certainly like shoot 'em ups, and if you do as well, you should check out the Shmup Master. This is a channel from Agro Sky, and he knows a lot about shoot 'em ups, and he's also very good at them. He does a series of videos where he does 1 credit clears of games, which is amazing to me. I cannot 1 credit clear anything, I don't think. So he'll put up videos and he'll do the whole 1 credit clear, and he'll also have his commentary running over it. So, a bit about the history of the game, sort of like tips and tricks for all the different levels and bosses, and just a lot of really good in-depth information about games. He's done The Guardian Legend, which is, is one of my favorite, Gradius, Legendary Wings. He also occasionally does newer games, and he will sometimes have a guest. So he's done videos with Brazel and Wes, 2 people I've shouted out here before, and yeah, they're really good, really in-depth, and also the production quality is astounding. He's been doing his videos in 4K lately, and you will honestly never see an NES game look as good as it does in the Shmup Master's videos. So if you're into shoot 'em ups, definitely go check him out. So now on to pickups. I actually have a fair number of pickups from this month. I'll start off with the one non-gaming thing, and it is the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. My feelings on The Witcher 3 are a little bit hot and cold. I do like a lot about it. I don't particularly like the gameplay or the open world, but I can't resist sometimes big, pretty hardcover books. So this is mostly a walkthrough, all the quests and items and things, which seems a little excessive, but then also at the back there's some art and things of all the locations and characters, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, I'm trying to fill up my bookshelf with actual books instead of just games, so this will go up there. And I got a number of games. So first thing, what was it? Berry Game Exchange was just recent, so I went there and got a couple things. First thing is DuckTales Remastered. This is actually, although it wasn't the 360 version, I think it was the PS3 version, the first game that Will and I ever played together, DuckTales Remastered. So we didn't own it, so I picked it up on 360 just because I like it better than PlayStation. I also like the remaster version better than the original DuckTales, which I'm sure is not a super popular opinion, but I do like this one. I also got Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth on the original Xbox. This is something I have played some of. It's quite scary. It's got this neat sort of sanity mechanic where when bad things are happening, like your vision will get cloudy, the controls will go weird, you can sort of hear your character hyperventilating. It's quite unsettling, and I've never beat it. I am hoping that with all of the new backwards compatible titles that are going on Xbox One, eventually this one will be added to it, because I'd much rather play it on the Xbox One than have to drag out the original Xbox. Actually, don't even think we have an original Xbox anymore. But, yeah, so I sort of bought this one hoping eventually I'll be able to play it backwards compatible. Another thing I got to add to the old Sega CD collection is Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I have to say, this looks like shit. Like, it looks terrible. I haven't really looked into the gameplay at all, but just the art on the actual thing and the artwork. I don't know if you can see. I can barely see. Can you make out any of these pictures? There is such bad quality. It doesn't look good at all, but it's okay because I like terrible FMV games. So I think this would be the kind of game I would do that backlog clearing approach for to see if it's worth playing. I have a feeling it's not, but I will try it out anyway. I got a new VR game. It's called Loading Human. I haven't heard a whole bunch about it, but it's a space adventure, and on the back it mentions developing relationships, solving dilemmas, and falling in love, which made me think VR Mass Effect, which sounded awesome. So I will play this probably sometime this month and let you know in my next update what I think of that. I also got this one here. This is Rekka Summer Carnival 92. This is obviously a reproduction, as it did not come out on the NES. It was just a Famicom game. I'm pretty sure it's Famicom. And it's super expensive, the real thing. So I just got a reproduction of this so that I can give it a try and see what I think of it. And then the last pickup was State of Decay 2, which is one of the new releases that I was really looking forward to this year. And with that, I will go into what I've been playing. So again, I feel like I haven't played a ton of games last month. I was spending so much time working on that video, and I guess other than that, I was feeling kind of, I don't know, just not super into playing games. But I finished State of Decay 2. It came out, people have talked about it being buggy, and it is a little bit buggy. These games, like the first one as well, have a sort of jankiness to them, so not necessarily things I would consider terrible bugs. One of the things I run into a lot is that a door will look open, but it will actually be closed, but you just press the button prompt, it opens. It's not a huge deal. This one, I actually don't like it as much as the original State of Decay. They went more into a sort of legacy system. So you build a camp of survivors, and depending on who you make your leader, they can be different things. They can be a builder or a sheriff or a warlord. I think there's another one. If you complete the game using that leader, you'll get a legacy for your next playthrough, so your base will get something right from the start. So I had a builder my first game, so that means in future games I get power and water in my base for free, which is a huge benefit. But that meant that they sort of went down on the story. I mean, the story in the first game wasn't a huge complex thing, but at least it was enough to sort of keep you going. In this one, there are these things called plague hearts, which make plague zombies, which can infect you, and you just have to clear out all the plague hearts in the town in order to complete the game, which isn't the most compelling story, but the compelling part is more in that base building, finding a base, making it your own, putting upgrades into it, crafting your own things, getting survivors that have certain skills that can help you out and make your community stronger. So I did enjoy it. I like the gameplay. I like driving around, smashing into zombies with my car. I really like resource management and base building. There have been some more serious bugs. One is that you can take a companion with you when you go out to help you fight. It's much safer to go with two people than just by yourself. And sometimes the companion will just disappear, and that usually requires restarting the game in order to get them to come back, which is kind of a pain. And I also experienced, as I was sort of doing my final builder quests to get my legacy, they weren't triggering properly, and again I had to restart the game a whole bunch, which isn't ideal. Obviously, I hope that they fix those things in the very near future. Overall, I liked it. They made some changes I did enjoy. In the first game, there was cars everywhere. You could just get in a car, drive around as much as you want. If you smashed it up, you just got out and grabbed a new car. In this one, there's much less cars, and you also have to actually put fuel in them. So if you run out of gas, your car is no longer of any use to you. So that just adds sort of another stress, another resource to manage, which I enjoyed. They cleaned up some of the systems to make it a little bit easier to tell what you were supposed to be doing in terms of your base. So I do think it's a fun game. It's one where you have to sort of make your own fun, seeing the tiny little histories of each character and sort of giving them their own personalities is interesting. But yeah, I didn't quite enjoy it as much as the first State of Decay. So I played a couple other things, nothing I have a whole lot to say about. One was Massive Chalice, which is a strategy game from Double Fine Adventures. It sort of combines handling lineages with tactical combat, and I quite enjoyed it. I sort of played straight through that one in a few days. That sort of kind of strategy tactical thing is sort of really what I've been into lately, so I played that. The next one is Defense Grid: The Awakening, which is a tower defense game. I am still making progress on that one. Those are both on Game Pass. The last game I want to talk about is Bayonetta, which I'd never played before. I've always heard good things about it. Will's always telling me he thinks I would like it. So I finally started playing it after talking about it a little bit in my Moms in Video Games video, and I am really liking it. I love Bayonetta herself. Her character is a lot of fun. I love the campiness of everything. It's really, really funny and enjoyable to watch the cutscenes and things, and I really like the music that's used in it. My only issue with it is that I can only play for a little bit at a time. When it comes to hack and slash games, I'm not great at memorizing combos and things, so I tend to treat it more like a button masher, and all the mashing of buttons really makes my hand hurt. So I can't play it for more than an hour or so at a time because I just get sore. But I am enjoying the story. It's a little bit convoluted, and Bayonetta herself, but I don't know, the combat is just not super the kind of combat that I enjoy in a game, but the rest of it is good enough that I want to continue. So that's it for my update. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to, anything interesting you've been playing, or any interesting pickups you got. Make sure to check out the Shmup Master if you're interested in shoot 'em ups. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.